What's up, YouTube? For today's video, this is going to be our guide on how to use Electrode Hisuian in Pokemon Scarlet and Violet. I'll be providing some competitive movesets and some fun meme movesets too. If there's a Pokemon you'd like to see me cover, let me know in the comment section. And if you enjoy the series, if it helps you out, drop a like on the video and let's get into it. So, Electrode Hisuian is a pretty interesting Pokemon. Now, compared to the normal one, it has the electric and the grass typing now. So, it's got two typings instead of one. And it does get a wee bit more coverage, but not too much. Firstly, let's have a look at its stats here. We've got an amazing speed stat as usual, which is basically Electrode's best stat, 150 base, and its special attack is 80, so it's reasonable. Now, with Electrode, I've found, even though it does have a grass typing on it, it is still quite barren. Now, the first set I'm going to be doing here is a choice spec. So, Electrode really does suffer for not really hitting too hard. So, I'm going to be going here with a choice specs and a modest nature. So, I've got max special attack and max speed EVs. Modest nature is definitely needed for sure. Like with timid, it's a little bit faster, but most of the time you're going to be outspeeding anyway, and Electrode sort of hits like a wet paper bag if you don't do that. So yeah, modest and choice specs for sure. Now, with its electric and grass typing, it's reasonable coverage, but there's still a lot of Pokemon you really can't do too much to. Like stuff I was thinking mainly that you would have issues with would be alternative like grass type combinations and maybe dragon types too. You'd probably really suffer against. Now, as for the moveset, I've got Volt Switch on there, which is a great move of choice specs. I've given it Terra Blast Water, which actually allows it to hit Fire-type Pokemon, Rock-type Pokemon. You know, it gives it some good coverage there, for instance. And I've also given it its move Chloroblast. Now, Chloroblast is a very powerful move for sure. However, the only drawback to it, you actually lose 50% of your health using it. So, it's sort of like a last-minute resort move. So, only use it when you really need to, because you're going to be fainting afterwards, probably for sure. Now, the other move I gave was Thunderbolt, and that was just virtually for coverage. But there are a lot of Pokemon that can, really wall this quite easily. But with Choice Specs and, Chloroblast, it's going to do a lot of damage to neutral stuff. And, Thunderbolt's going to do a lot too. You could also have Thunder if you really wanted to as well. As for Terra Blast, Terra Blast Water gives it some good ways to hit, the Pokemon I already mentioned. Plus, another one you might give it could be either Rock or Ground. Ground would be alright because that'll allow Electrode to hit Steel types and Fire type Pokemon and other electric types. So that's not a bad one too. In terms of Terra type, and it's a good surprise. I like Water personally, but Ground definitely works the same too. If you got any other Terras you use, let me know about in the comment section. As for the abilities, we got Soundproof, Static, and Aftermath. So nothing really amazing on Electrode. I'd like to say that Aftermath is probably the most handy because if it does get fainted by a contacting move, you do an additional quarter damage to the opponent there, which may be the difference between a KO and or like a sweeping Pokemon at a bit of health. You finish off with Aftermath. The other ones are more situational than Aftermath, so we've got Soundproof and Static. Static's probably the worst one out of all of them. Soundproof, well, if you get hit by a sound move and you got it, you're just going to be sort of lucky. So I'd be going with Aftermath on pretty much every moveset. There is one that's quite good for Soundproof, which I'll get to in a sec. So, yeah, that's our first set with choice specs. Let's have a little bit of a different look at this. So, Electrode on a Sun team, which I thought could be interesting. So, once again, it is barren in moveset in general on the special and physical. I'll show you all the moves as we get into it. But yeah, so I thought we could run this in the sun because it does get Solar Beam. So it's a different way of using it, and that way you don't need to rely on using Chloroblast and losing half of your health. So I'd probably suggest to couple this up with like something like Torkoal with Drought or any like sort of sun team so you can fire those Solar Beams off. You got Thunderbolt there. I've given it Terra Blast Fire, which will be reasonable against opposing grass Pokemon. I thought that could be quite good. And we've also got Volt Switch 2 on there. Same ability with Aftermath. Now, as for item, you could go quite a few different items for sure. I've given this one Assault Vest. And yeah, you could give it a lot. You give it Life Orb. That could be another option here for Life Orb. just as an extra damage. You could give it a Miracle Seed, a Expert Belt, Heavy Duty Boots. There's quite a few options there for sure. As for the EV spread, I've given it exactly the same as the last one, so max special attack and max speed. And yeah, you really need Modest Nature so it does damage, because like without Modest Nature, it does virtually nothing. It's just not powerful enough to one-shot anything. So, I mean, even a set like this, it's not going to be doing like heaps and heaps of damage. So Life Orb might, well be appreciated there as some more base power. So that's my Sun Team set. The only risk about running it on a Sun Team, it is a Grass type. So that's why you probably need to go for a Terra Fire. That way you can resist the Fire type moves. And you could just attack with the Electric type move. That could also work as well. So that is a Electrode for the Sun. Next one, I tried this out as a Sub-Seeder, and this worked surprisingly well in stalling the opponent out. Now, I'm not actually going to give it any bulky EVs at all, so nothing in like health or defense or special defense. Mainly, we're going to be really going for like very, very fast Sub-Seeder. So this ability, Soundproof, is where this is going to be really, really needed. So if you're relying on a Substitute set, so we're sort of like setting Leech Set up and then we're putting Substitute up. So then we're sort of doing a little bit of stalling. We've got Giga Drain for damage, and we've got that for health recovery, and we've got Leftovers at the same time. And we've also got Charge Beam on there to increase the special attack. Because, the more health I get back from Giga Drain, the more I can use Substitute over and over and Leech Seed. So it becomes quite an annoying Pokemon to get around if there's no counters. Like, it'd be difficult to get around this because it's so fast. And it could just, say you get one free turn, it sets the Leech Seed up, and then you can, stub, and then you can go Giga Drain, then you go Leech Seed again. Even if they swap, most of the time you have a sub up. Now with Soundproof there, that's going to stop any moves going through the sub, which is great. Only something with like Infiltrator would probably be the only real heavy counter this. So this is going to be like a real pain in the backside to go again. So Leftovers is great with Leech Seed and Giga Drain. So we've got 3 rounds of recovery there, which is going to be awesome, and Charge Beam to boost up the special attack even more. You could go Volt Switch on there if you want to, say if you had not a very favorable matchup and you thought you might be able to use it again later, that could be an option too. As for Terra type, I thought that something with little weaknesses could be good, so like Terra type normal, or maybe keep it electric, so that way it's only got like one weakness. So either if you're going to do Terra type electric, it'll be ground, or Terra type normal, which would be fighting. So that could, sort of limit down any of the weaknesses that it does have. But it's probably not too important that you actually, you could even give it Terra-type Poison too if you wanted to get around like any toxic spikes and stuff like that. That could be interesting, but you'd have to probably Terra it early on and then swap it back in. But there's lots of different types of Terras that could work with this set. But yeah, I think it's not super bulky either, so I don't think there's much point running it tanky. So you're going to just make use of its really, really high speed with Timid. So go first, put the Leech Seed on the field, and then go for the sub afterwards. That would be how I would run this. And I'm not saying it's like going to be invincible, but it's going to be a real pain to feint this. So you're going to have to go through all of its substitutes, and you know what? It could do a fair bit of damage with Leech Seed and Giga Drain combination, and then it might be able to feint you with Charge Beam, or boost it up there and get some more health back from Giga Drain. So it could be quite an annoying Pokemon to go against. So there you go. There's a Sub-Seeder set. Now we talked about a Sun team. How about a Rain team? So we've got Electrode Hisuian, and we've got a Thunder set. So I wanted to make use of Thunder. So if you are on a Rain team, let's say Pelipper as a partner there, which isn't all that bad a partner for Electrode in general, due to the typing. And we've got Thunder, Terra Blast Water. So Terra Blast Water is going to be really good in the rain. It's going to get boosted up. Thunder is not going to miss in the rain, which is going to be great too. And we've got Energy Ball, which is going to give it like good grass stab. And of course, we've got Volt Switch there too. So that's going to give it some nice momentum on your rainy team. So an option, a surprise option for a surprise rain team. I just gave it Magnet to power up that Thunder a lot, because you'll be spamming that a lot in the rain. And I've given it Aftermath too. So either Aftermath or Soundproof are going to work. I'd probably just stick with Aftermath because, yeah, it's just mostly better. Well, it's mostly going to happen more often than the other two abilities. They're very much more luck-based. So I definitely see that one working on the Rain team. Next one I thought you could do would be an Electrode Ball set. So like Electrode, this has crazy speed. So I thought, we could go Agility as rating the speed by 2, and then Electro Ball. So Electro Ball is based on how fast you are compared to the target. So with Agility Electro Ball, you're going to be doing lots and lots of damage there. Obviously it is walled by a lot of things. I'm not saying it's going to be good against everything, but against any neutral targets or any real slow Pokemon, it's going to be doing lots of damage there, unless they're very, very specially defensive. The other move I gave was Energy Ball. In case we come across any like ground type Pokemon, it can still hit hard. And I've given it Terra Blast Ground for any fire type Pokemon there as well. Or just any, just like general coverage moves. I've given this one Soundproof. Once again, Soundproof or Aftermath, it doesn't really matter. Probably Aftermath would be a little bit better. And I also gave it Salic too, just in case I couldn't get lots of agilities up. Because Electrode isn't exactly what you call a bulky Pokemon. It's quite frail, so maybe you'll get put into a lower range of health there, and you can get an additional speed boost, and which will, and then turn up Electro Ball. So you could have like an agility, get hit by a hard attack, almost fade, get the Salic Berry up there, so then you've got +3 in speed. So yeah, or you can give it heavy duty boots too. That could be an alright item. I guess you really wouldn't want your speed to be dropped there, especially running a Electro Ball set. So yeah, you can give it the boots. That would be rather nice too. And yeah, you can sort of play with the Terra Blast for sure. Max Special Attack and Max Speed, Timid Nature. So this is one of the few times that I actually bother to run Timid on there, because most of the time it's kind of a waste. It's so fast. But there you go. It's a double ball set with agility. And now we're going to have a look at a mixed ball set. I actually got another physical set I'm going to do after this, but we'll just go through this. So this set is a special attacker and a physical attacker. So I've given this one max attack and max special attack. Now we're really sort of going into meme territory here for sure, as you can see. So with its attack stat, it's 50 base, so it's very, very small, so it's not going to be doing too much damage. And I've also given it both attack and special attack, so I'm kind of relying on its really high raw base speed, and it'll still outspeed quite a few things there for sure. Now, I've got Leafstorm on there, which is going to be a powerful special move instead of Chloroblast. And it's also got Eject Pack as the item. So when your stats are going to be dropped there, you eject out of the battle, and therefore you won't be, left in a battle situation where you've got -2 in special attack. So it gives you that sort of momentum and option there too. I've got Wild Charge as an electric type move as physical. And we've also got C-Bomb too. And I've also got Volt Switch. So with Volt Switch and Leafstorm, you got some nice little bit of momentum on the team and a bit of surprise. And yeah, with this unique EV spread here for a mix Electrode Hisuian. So pretty cool. As for counters, pretty much I did talk about this for any grass type Pokemon, dragon types. I'd say they're probably the biggest counters. And even just it being weak to stuff like U-turn and bug, like Sizzle and stuff like that. U-turns are going to be very, very powerful against this Pokemon. It doesn't really have a lot of coverage either on this Pokemon. Especially like fire moves and ice moves would have been really, really good. But it doesn't really have that unless you go for like Terra, like a Terra Blast, So that's the only, that's the problem with this Pokemon. But that's how it is. That's a mixed set. So let's have a look at a fully physical set. This is going to be absolute garbage, but I want to do it anyway. Also like to do some fun physical sets there, and I'll just have a look at some movesets you're probably not going to see. So actually, it's so small in attack. Like there was hardly a difference in stat change from Adamant, but let's assume that we're going to run Adamant for the last little bit in special. Special events. So Soundproof Aftermath, we'll give it Aftermath. Let's give it a look at these physical moves. So we've got Explosion. That could be nice. Okay, we'll go normal jam there, I guess. Pop that on. And we could go Terra Normal as well. Yeah, we'll go Terra Normal. Why not? So we got that. And what else we got here? We got Facade, Foul Play, Wild Charge, and Bullet Set. Ooh, this could be... You could go Loaded Dice as well, like Loaded Dice Bullet Seed. That could be interesting. So you could get 100 base power, which would sort of be better than... That'd be better than C-Bomb too. So more powerful than C-Bomb. So you get that Bullet Seed going there. You got Wild Charge as well. And yeah, that could definitely be terrible. So there you go. A little bit of a fun set. What else could we put on there? We could go Terror Blast. Oh, you could even go Roll Out as well. And roll out with the item Metronome. That'll be absolutely incredible stuff. I don't know why this gets Gyro Ball. I know that it is a ball, but it's so bad because it's such a fast Pokemon. I don't know. It must have been like a troll to put that on there. Foul Play could be a good option too if the opponent did try and set some stuff up. But there you go. It's a PIMPNITE special. I hope you sort of enjoyed this set. It's going to be incredible. Now you can go Terra type Loaded Dice Grass as well if you want to get some more power out of Bullet Seed. You could do that too. But there you go, a physical Electrode Hisuian. Let's have a look at the rest of its moves there, and we'll do a little bit of a final analysis on it. But really, this Pokemon, it's definitely not broken. That's for sure. It's I wouldn't say it's absolutely terrible. It does have a few little niches, but it's not the greatest out there, that's for sure. So let's bring up its status moves. I like to have a look at absolutely everything. So we've gone over Agility. We've done like a Electro Ball set. Leech Seed, we've done it as a Sub-Seeder. We've got Protect. I'm thinking what you could do with doubles. I think this spec set here would work nicely on doubles. So I just go for something similar like this if you're playing like doubles, VGC, anything like that. I'll see if I can come up with anything else for it while I'm doing this, but I don't know if I can, just because it's so limited. So we've got, what else we got? We got Reflect. It's pity it didn't get Reflect and Light Screen, because you could do like a cool lead Pokemon with like Light Clay, Reflect, and Light Screen. That'd be nice, but for some reason, I think they gave normal Electrode Light Screen, and they gave this Reflect, which... I don't know, I think they're just trolling at this point. We've got Res Sleep Taunt. Oh, okay, it does serve as a not a bad taunt Pokemon. So say, for example, you were leading with it. It also has Thunder Wave too. These are pretty notable moves. So you might have something like, let's presume this is like a lead Electrode, and we're just going to run like, the normal sort of EVs. Let's give it Modest because we want to actually do some damage. So we got Volt Switch, Thunder Wave, Volt Switch, and you could give it, I don't know, Energy Ball or Chloroblast, something like that. That could be another set you could absolutely use there too. For sure. As for item, I'd probably just give it something like... You could give it Boots. You could give it Focus Sash. Yeah, I'd give it one of those items. Just any of those, like, nice starting items there. So we've got Taunt. And so good Taunter. Fast Taunter, which is really, really good. And we've got Thunder Wave too. So that's not bad sort of support moves on there. So that's another way you could run Electrode. If you got any other ways you run your Electrode, I don't know how many people have actually tried this Pokemon because... Let's face it, it's not the greatest Pokemon in the world, but yeah, if you got any other sets, let me know. We also got an Electric Terrain set, so we could go to something like cool, like Electric Terrain or run it under Electric Terrain. You could have like Electric Seed. That could make it a little bit more bulky. What else we got here? I'm just trying to think of some options you could do. He's also got Charge. You get like Electric Terrain and Charge and maybe like an electric move. That'd be... You could do something crazy like this. I'm just coming up with this on the spot. So you could go like just the usual typical EV spread you give it. And try and go for some more like power there with Thunder. If you're able to get the Electric Seed off and then a charge and a charge. Charge for a special defense and then a defense. That would give it some more bulk and then a powerful Thunder. But this is like really, really gimmicky stuff. So yeah, take it with a grain of salt. It could definitely... be a little option there if you want to play around with some other movesets. What else we got here? We have got... Bring that up again. So we had Endure. Endure would probably be okay for if you were trying to run Weakness Policy. It also gets really cool that it gets Electric Terrain and Grassy Terrain. So, that's somewhat unique. If you want a terrain set, that could work. So you could run that... as a terrain setter, and then maybe like Volt Switch and Chloroblast, that could work too. Now, a unique move it does get is Recycle. That's really, really cool. So I did sort of like a set like this. What do we got? I did like a Sub and Recycle set the other day just for a bit of fun. So you could like something like, I don't know, Patea Berry. We'll go Soundproof on this, especially whenever you use Substitute, it's always a good idea to use Soundproof if you've got that. And of course, if you've got the ability available. And we got Thunderbolt, and I'd probably give it Energy Ball, because you don't want to really have Chloroblast. So you could do something like that, and you could try and get the Substitute to go with Recycle, and then recycle it back there. The problem is, the difficult part about it is, are you going to be able to get the recycle off again against the opponent, which is probably not. So you might need some sort of support there, but interesting sort of set there. You could also go like recycle and staff bear if you wanted to. That could be cool. You might be able to get a special attack, 2 special attack risers. So just a little bit of more stuff there to think about for Electrode. Always like to try out every single thing. And yeah, we had stuff like Stun Spore, but yeah, you're not really going to use that over Thunder Wave. And you've got Worry Seed as well. So a speedy Worry Seed Pokemon, maybe... I don't know, maybe you want to use this on, like, a Pokemon like Slaking or something like that in doubles. You, I don't know, like, a Pokemon, get rid of someone's, like, a bad ability and give it just Worry Seed. That could work very, very nicely. Yeah, I'd probably just use the spec set in doubles, too. I'm trying to come up with something, like, I don't know, that would be viable for doubles. We also got, I mean, Volt Switch would be okay. Depends if you had a rain team in doubles, you could go like Protect, Thunder, you know, that Terra Blast set I was already talking about. That could absolutely be something you could do to like Terra Blast Water. I see that working for sure. Like this, you know, and then you got like Energy Ball, Chloroblast, and you could... And Soundproof I'd say Soundproof would be quite good in doubles too, because this way, say if you come across any like Hyper Voice Pokemon, like sound-based moves, that would nullify them. So that would be really quite good for that. And then you could just give it something like, I don't know, for doubles. If you're running Protect, then you wouldn't be able to give it Assault Vest, but you could give it Assault Vest and run like another attacking move if you wanted to. But, you know, Protect isn't all that bad. You could just put like Life Orb on there as well, so that could be another item you put on, just for a little bit of like extra damage and base power, I'd say. But yeah, I think that's pretty much all you can do for Electrode. I have given a couple of, well, throughout this, I did give a couple of examples of teammates. Most things counter it, like, you know, Dragon-type Pokemon, they do counter it, and so do Grass. And you really have to Terra a lot of the thing about this Pokemon, to sum it up, it's very, very barren. It's not bulky. The greatest thing about it is its speed. And really, to do any damage, you're kind of forced to go at least for a Choice Specs, or at very worst, a Life Orb set. And to get any coverage outside of Electric and Grass, you have to go for a Terra. So if you don't go for Terra, you're going to get probably walled. And even with Terra, you're probably going to get walled too. So you really have to sort of like work it out how you want to put it onto the team. Definitely not an overpowered Pokemon, but it does have a cool niche there with Chloroblast, and it gets some cool moves like Thunder Wave and Taunt. And, you know, just its normal sort of electric, like Volt Switch is always good. And, you know, Leech Seed, that Sub-Seeder set. I think it's got some cool potential. So, yeah, let me know if you got any other movesets beside the ones I suggested there. I probably could come up with more, but we've probably gone for a little while already. And, yeah, I hope you enjoyed the Electrode Hisuian moveset guide. I will be back a little bit later on with another one. So, tonight will be a double upload for the moveset guides, because I haven't done them for a couple of days. Anyway, people, that's about it. If you enjoyed the video, found it helpful, drop a like on the video, and I'll catch you next time. Peace.